me show you another one of my favorite places to eat. We are standing outside Locust Point's longest running restaurant and bar. The food's amazing and has such a rich history. So if you want to learn more about Hull Street Blues, let's go inside and meet the owner. As a busy mom, realtor, and someone who just likes to have fun, I am always on the go around Baltimore. Whether you're new to the area or you've been here your whole life, I want to show you my favorite places to eat, play, and live around 21230. I'm Alison Hudler with Cummings & Company Realtors, and this is the 21230 Show. All right, we're here with Dan, the owner of Hull Street Blues Cafe. Dan, thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for being here, Allie. Nice to see you.
Thank you. I know my family and I always love coming here and sitting outside with Maggie and Dave and the neighbors and enjoying a good meal, especially on a Friday night, and enjoying what you've made so wonderful for all of us. So thank you for having Hull Street Blues here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
Thanks. So for people who haven't been to Hull Street Blues, tell us about you, tell us about the restaurant. That's something that always impresses me, is just how much history you guys have in here.
Well, I'm only the second owner here since 1936.
It's amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
And I started out, it's hard for me to believe, the summer of '84.
Wow.
Okay, so I guess that, do the math. I'm
I won't do the
closing
math.
in on 40 years.
Okay.
So yeah, I've seen the neighborhood go through some changes.
Yeah.
But it's always been a great neighborhood.
Good.
And it was shown to me really good during the pandemic when our neighbors kept us afloat, you know, because we were only able to do the carry out.
Yeah, of course.
And, you know, it's just, it was really heartwarming to see how well they took care of us and took care of our people.
Yeah.
Kept us going. Got us through a rather difficult time.
Absolutely. Well, tell us more about the inspiration behind your menu, because you have some amazing food here. And
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
We've, I've been fortunate that over the years to have attracted so many talented chefs.
Great.
You know, and some of them, you know, they stayed here for a certain period of time. At least two of them, three of them probably, yeah, at least three of them have gone on to open their own restaurants.
Wow.
I mean, one of them in
kudos to
particular
you.
started out washing dishes here, you know, at the age of 15, and
Awesome.
now he's owner of a restaurant up in Harford County in
Wow.
Bel Air, Main Street.
That's awesome. But you are a chef. You're back in the kitchen a lot too, right?
Well, I was, yeah, in this business, you got to learn how to wear a lot of different hats.
Yeah.
Might be washing dishes one day, you know,
Yeah, of
or
course.
cooking. But yeah, I know my way around the kitchen, but I was fortunate my most recent hire has been with me, I guess, about 5 years.
Okay.
And that's Chef Mauricio.
Wow.
And I've known him for probably 20 years, but it took me 15 to persuade him to come to work for me.
Okay.
And he finally did, and it's been about 5 years ago.
And that's your most recent hire.
That's my most
impressive.
recent hire. Yeah,
Wow.
he's been here 5 years.
Yeah.
And since he's been here, I really haven't put on the apron, you know.
Good.
So I'm out of the kitchen. I'm actually in the front of the house where I like to be.
Yeah.
You know, where I can interact with the customers. Now, if they need an extra set of hands back there,
You'll hop
I don't
in.
mind getting my feet wet.
Yeah,
You know,
of
once
course.
in a while.
That's good.
Yeah.
And the steamship round, that's probably my favorite sandwich.
Okay.
That's your original menu item, right?
That was our first menu item.
Yeah.
When I first opened up here, I basically we didn't have a kitchen. You know, we were pretty much a drinking establishment.
Okay.
And at one point, and I had a full-time job somewhere else, but
Wow.
eventually decided to go full-time, and one of my next-door neighbor actually offered to come in and open up during the day, because I used to just open up after I got off work, 5 o'clock
come
at
in,
night, come in,
start
jump
pouring
behind the
drinks.
bar, start slinging drinks.
Yeah.
And Jane, who's the lady's name that lived next door, she said, "Why don't you open during the day?" And I said, "Well, why open during the day, Jane? I don't have any food." She says, "Why don't you have food?" I said, "Because I don't have a kitchen." She goes, "Well, I do, and I probably shouldn't be putting this on film, but we made our first roast beef was made in her oven. I used to make it next door, bring it over here, slice it down, and serve it.
That is so
And
cool.
my mom would make the soup. I would go, before I went to work, I would go pick up a pot of soup from her, bring
Yeah.
it down here, put it on the hot plate. And for the longest time, we had one soup and one sandwich,
Awesome.
and that was it.
Well, hey, you got to
Sometimes miss those simple days, you
Yeah,
know. But
yeah, I'm sure.
anyway.
Well,
yeah.
everything you serve is amazing, so we
Thank you.
appreciate it all.
But yeah, that menu item's still one of my favorites.
Good.
On the menu.
That's from 1984.
Well, it's actually
Or,
was-
well,
was
shortly
more about-
after.
we opened a Commodore room, which hopefully we'll take a look at sometime
absolutely.
here shortly, in 1988.
Okay.
And had our full kitchen up and running by then. So the first couple years, you know, was pizza oven behind the bar, steam table, doing mussels, you know, behind the bar, and, you know, very, very limited menu.
Yeah.
But then we dove into our first endeavor into the serious cooking was actually the Sunday brunch.
That's awesome.
And, you know, and now here we are 7 days a week. Full menu, lunch, dinner.
That's great.
Every, you know,
no, I love
day.
it. And you were telling me about this shuffleboard table.
Well, like I mentioned, I'm only the second owner here since 1936, and that shuffleboard table has been here since 1936.
So cool. Wow. And it still looks in good shape. Very awesome.
Well, we've had to restore, you know, refinish it.
Yeah.
Like one time.
Okay.
Yeah, really only one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't make furniture like that,
and
I don't think anymore.
It's a classic piece. I'm glad you still have it in here.
Thank you.
And so much other decor too. So I know you mentioned earlier there's a story behind everything.
Well, when I bought this place, the electricity still ran through wooden conduit.
Oh my gosh.
There was a spittoon in the front of the bar with literally running water.
Oh my gosh.
And, you know, I had one of my old-time customers that he's not with us anymore, but he told me about the day he was sitting at a bar long before my ownership, when an Arab was coming up the street with his horse and his fruit buggy, and he came in and asked Miss Marie, was the lady that owned the place before me. He said, "Miss Marie, can I bring Daisy in for a drink?"
Oh,
and I said, "What?" It was a hot summer day. They swing open those doors, brought the horse in to drink out of the trough.
What?
I said, "Come on, Mr. Steve, that's kid." He says, "I swear on my mother's grave, that's the truth." So, you know, it's kind of crazy things.
That's wild. When you've been...
If the walls could talk, I'm sure it would be an interesting story.
No, it's awesome. I always love looking around at everything. So, well, do you want to get back into the kitchen? Start looking at some food?
Yeah, we can do that, absolutely, because otherwise we'd be here all day.
Thanks for having us in your kitchen.
Yeah.
What are we making today?
We're going to be doing our steamed mussels today. And we use our Prince Edward Island mussels, and they're always fresh and delicious. Would be sauteed in olive oil. We start off with an extra virgin olive oil. Saute the mussels, add garlic, a little bit of seasoning, and then add white wine. Finish it with butter. And basically it's served with breadsticks, pretzel sticks would be really more accurate. But we're also going to do our fish tacos. And right now we're using fresh Atlantic salmon. Lately we've been running with the Norway salmon from Norway. And it is, as a rule, it's done blackened. Some customers prefer not to have the blackening spice. But our chef was going to pan sear those or cook them on the cast iron flat top. Then we'll serve them with a pico de gallo, which we make fresh every day. And then it's topped with, well, there's some slaw in there, cabbage slaw. And it's topped with a honey Cholula sauce, which is, of course, house-made. Everything's house-made here for the most part. We're going to do a side order of French fries, hand-cut fries, Idaho potatoes. We do it, you know, the old-fashioned way, and it will be delicious.
Well, you also have some really good cocktails here, Dan.
Perfect. Chef needs 5 more minutes. Let's go do some cocktails.
Okay, awesome.
All right, so today we're making an orange crush, so you cut the orange in half, and then you're gonna cut it in 4s, like so. Put it in the juicer, put it under here, because cutting it in 4s, you're gonna get the most juice out. We're gonna toss this part and cut the other half in 4s. So then we're gonna come over here, we're gonna add some ice to the top. From there, we're going to add some triple sec, splash of triple sec. Right now, we're using 3 olives orange as our crushed vodka. Add about that. It's all about the shake. The shake is very important. Got to give it a real good shake. Sometimes top it with a little more ice. Some Sprite. If they want it skinny, use soda water. Top it with a garnish of an orange. And then we have our fresh orange pie.
And we're also going to do an old fashioned.
Okay. I don't know if I've actually ever tried an old fashioned.
So, you know, I've kind of perfected mine a little bit. So the first part is you're going to peel a little bit of orange, like about 3 orange peels off the orange. Put them in the glass. We're going to grab our muddler over here, and we're going to grab our bitters. About 3 of Angostura bitters. Splash of simple syrup. And we're gonna muddle that first. Muddle it all up. Make sure it's nice. Add ice. Preferred bourbon. Right now, we'll use this one. A common misconception is that old fashions are stirred, not shaken. So you give them a nice stir. And from there, we're going to grab a rocks glass over here. Fill that with ice to the top, and then a strainer. And we're going to strain this mixture into the glass here. And then we're going to take another little piece of orange peel. We're going to spritz it into the old fashioned around the rim in the drink. And then we're going to get a nice Luxardo cherry, top it, and there we go.
Cheers! Oh my god. Thank you, Rita. Good. Cheers, man.
This is the Commodore Room.
Yes.
And opened up in 1988, named after Isaac Hall, who was captain on the USS Constitution during the War of 1812. So there's a lot of commemorative history in here. Commemorates a famous battle between Isaac Hall and the British during the War of 1812. They actually sank the first British ship in that war, and this guy was quite a hero in his day. So we promote his history a little bit. I love this table, especially in the wintertime when the fireplace is going. The brick in that fireplace originally were in this floor. This was a dirt floor with the brick pavers. And when we first poured concrete here, we stored the brick down in the basement, and we later got around to building that fireplace. I'm a father of 5,
Yes.
and my kids all grew up in this business.
So cool.
Started polishing silverware when they were very young,
Yeah.
and worked their way through here.
That's awesome.
Flipping pancakes, washing dishes, whatever had to be
Yeah.
done. So, needless to say, we're pretty kid friendly.
Yeah, absolutely you are. Thank you. Maybe in 12 years I'll send my oldest.
That's
to you.
right, please do. I'm sure we're always looking for good help.
Yeah. Well, do you want to have a seat with me?
I'd love to.
Okay.
Somebody's got to eat this.
Someone's got to eat it. It looks so good. All right. Well, I'm going to steal a fry first because these are so delicious.
It was probably about I'm going to say it was about a month and a half ago. I got a phone call here one afternoon.
Yeah.
And a gentleman, I guess I can mention his name, I took the call and he goes, Dan, this is Clancy. I'm calling you from Florida.
Oh my gosh.
My wife and I moved down here some years ago and she just passed away. And I'm like, gosh. And I'm, of course, trying to think exactly who this, I really couldn't place him. And I said, man, I'm so sorry to hear that, Clancy. And he says, well, you probably don't remember, but my wife and I used to come into your place all the time.
Yeah.
And in fact, she was born on Hubbard Street, behind your restaurant, literally born in the house.
Oh my gosh.
And she put in her will that this is where she wanted to have her celebration of life.
That's really something.
So I was like, okay, Clancy, you got it. When do you want it? What do you want? And, you know, we put it together, and he came up, had all his friends and family from this neighborhood came together, and we had a great time.
That's special.
So,
wow.
and actually, it happened once before. I mean, it's twice that I can think of that actually people talked to me in advance of them passing to say they wanted to have, this is what they wanted on their menu, this is what they wanted to have.
Well, you've created that really special, safe place for them. So
yeah, it's that kind of stuff is the only thing that keeps me in the business, because I can't sometimes believe I've been doing this for nearly 40 years. But it's the special occasions, you know, whether it be a baby shower. Or we've got a nice wedding rehearsal dinner party coming up this weekend.
Oh,
and,
nice.
You know, those are just fun times.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there you go.
Good job, Dan. Keep it up. The neighborhood appreciates you. Yeah.
Yeah. Good neighborhood. Good people.
Yes, for
Thank
sure.
you.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Wow. Mm.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That looks incredible. Oh, food's great. So good. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chef.
We've had the apple cake before, but that I've never seen.
That's chocolate peanut butter pie.
That looks amazing.
What's not to like about that?
Yeah.
You know?
Oh my gosh.
All house made.
Wow.
Like everything here, we
Yeah.
do it the hard way. Make it from scratch.
Wow. Well, it looks good. So.
And our French fries, of course, I did mention that we hand cut those. You know, I guess a lot of people you can buy them already cut and ready to go, but Idaho potatoes, and we cut them.
They're delicious. I can attest to that for sure.
Thank you.
Well, Dan, thank you for having us. For people who haven't been, where can they find you on Hull Street? What's your address?
Well, we're at 1222 Hull Street in historic Locust Point.
Yes.
And you can like us on Facebook.
Yep.
You know, or got a website, hullstreetblues.com.
Instagram
Check us out
as
there.
well.
Instagram
Yep.
as well.
Well,
So,
yeah. Well,
yeah,
hopefully
please
everybody, check them out on social media. Come by and visit. Have some of this food. This place is just amazing. I mean, you have to see this room for itself, and maybe you'll meet Dan or Risa here one day.
Look forward to seeing you.
Yeah. So thanks for watching.
Thanks for coming, Allie.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks for being
Appreciate
here.
it.